Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming out to what Sunset Park, Industry City, as some people are calling it these days, but really Sunset Park. I'm Jano Lieber, MTA Chair and CEO. I'm here with New York City Transit President Demetrius Critchlow, MTA Construction Development President Jamie Torres Springer. We have a couple of local electeds, very local, work this neighborhood very hard. Assembly Member Marcelo Matenas, thank you for being here, and Council Member Alexa Aviles, real friends of transit and great representatives of this neighborhood. This is our brand new Railcar acceptance facility here in Sunset Park. It's going to be the first stop for every subway car that we purchase going forward, and there are a lot of them coming. This is where they get a top-to-bottom inspection, and there are last adjustments made before they safely enter service. And as you notice, if you come across 3rd Avenue, there's also rail tracks outside that allow us to take these down bring cars up from the waterfront, because sometimes, more in the future, cars will be arriving by barge as well as by truck and otherwise. So its location was chosen for accessibility for all modes of transit. This facility is opening not a moment too soon. The 2025 to 29 MTA capital program calls for us to purchase 1,500 new subway cars and a ton of rail cars as well. This is the biggest investment in rolling stock since my predecessor of blessed memory, Dick Ravitch, delivered the R68s in the early 1980s. So we are in the rail car purchasing business, and this is where they're going to go into service. I said all that. The facility is prepared for all deliveries, and as I said, it has all of the accoutrements we need to help process cars for service. In the past, preliminary work was done all over the system in a handful of scattered yards. Centralizing the process is really important for efficiency reasons, and so that we can put the pros all in one place to do these very important final inspections and preparations for service. This is going to allow us to start retiring the old dinosaurs of the system. The R46s are 50 years old. I know that rail fans love those orange bucket seats, and I ride a bunch of them on the Q train almost every day, but no one's going to miss all the breakdowns. When cars get old, and a lot of those cars are beyond the 40-year useful life, they start to break down much more frequently, which has impacts on the passenger experience, and we do not want that. So the future of subway service is here, the first stop, Sunset Park, and I'm going to turn it over to my friend Demetrius for a little more detail. Demetrius.
What an exciting day. Exciting. This is it's exciting. Give me some love here. It's exciting. All right, look, it's great to be here to celebrate the opening of the first of its kind. This facility is just amazing. The first brand new, full-scale subway car facility of its kind opened on new property in our network in 77 years. It has never been a better time to be a subway rider. We've introduced 745 new modern cars to the system over the past 2 years. And as Jano said, the MTA has just made the largest investment in additional cars in over 50 years. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that this past October, on-time performance was the best that it's been since pre-COVID, on record.
I'll cheer for that.
Now, this type of milestone might be starting to sound a little tired for the press, right? Because we're having so many best months, but I'm not gonna front. I'm willing to accept you guys getting tired of it, because On-time performance is our baby right here. This amazing facility serves as a symbol to our riders that we are serious about delivering the promises that the MTA is making about the historical capital plan. Transit is ready to keep pace with the investments that we're fortunate to be receiving in this capital plan, and now New Yorkers know we mean business. We're actively prepared to receive the incredible influx of cars so we can get them into service safely and efficiently. We expect to be testing 30 cars on average a month here. 30 cars. Jano mentioned it, over 1,200 cars over the next couple years will be coming here. It's pretty amazing, not to mention at least 45 new diesels. This facility will make a world of difference to our employees as well. It's sound and it's simple. We all know that having a good roof over your head, it just works. It's important, right? Every rail agency knows that covered track space is truly invaluable. Before, what we talked about, the employees would have to do much of this work outdoors. Get a new car in, it has to be linked up as a unit. That happened outdoors. So the fact that we can do this under a covered roof, man, it's fantastic. So, no more having to do it out in the rain, freezing temperatures, sun beating down on you underneath the train. Now they'll be protected from here with climate control, lighting at a state-of-the-art facility. The consistency and efficiency this will afford employees translates to faster and more reliable trips for our riders. So, I will say it again, it's never been a better time for subway riders. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the fruits of this investment by bringing modern cars to more lines so all our riders can experience for themselves the benefits we love to talk about. Thank you, and with that, I will turn it over to my partner, Jamie Torres-Springer.
Thank you. Thank you, Demetrius and Jana. We're thrilled to be turning over this first of its kind railcar acceptance and testing facility to New York City Transit for its use as we make this massive infusion of new subway cars that is part of modernizing our system under the 2025 to 2029 capital plan. And we've said it, but I want to make sure it's clear. We've talked about the importance of focusing our capital investment in the things that ensure safe, reliable, and frequent subway service. That is the focus of the MTA, the legislature, the governor, the many elected officials that have supported that capital plan have helped us to deliver that. And this is one of those shining examples where we're going to be able to bring in those new cars, inspect them, and get them out into the system running properly. This is, of course, you know, it's very important that our employees get to work in a great facility, but this is directly tied to safe, reliable, and frequent subway service for many decades to come. I just want to note that this is one of the many critical projects that we're delivering better, faster, and cheaper at the new MTA. This project came in $5 million under budget. That's how we're getting things done. How did we do that? Planning was everything on this project. We knew that we couldn't interrupt the delivery of the new R211 cars, so we maintained an active track here throughout construction, managing to take it out for critical work for only a couple of months. A lot of strategic time and cost-saving measures were implemented here. This is a pre-engineered steel structure that enabled faster, more cost-effective construction of the facility and off-site fabrication of precast concrete inspection pits ensured higher quality and reduced schedule risks. And then, of course, we were a good neighbor, and we thank our elected officials for keeping at us on this. We shifted heavy work to off-school hours. We scheduled deliveries overnight to minimize community impact. We did all of that and managed to deliver this state-of-the-art facility under budget. All these efforts translate into a higher quality facility. Let me say a few thank yous to the hardworking team members who got this over the finish line. At C&D, our PCO, Jay Jiva Kumar, led by Nick Santoyama and Peter Koner from those groups. But But I do want to note, just walking around, so many people, so many C&D folks from the design side. We have a couple new trainees that have joined us. Everybody's been involved in making this facility work. This was not quick, getting to the point where we were ready to enter construction, and so much support and work happened there. Of course, from the New York City Transit side, Sue Coe, who's the head of all things car equipment, Joe Scarangello, who's really the champion of this facility, and he gets the biggest round of applause. Benson Wong as well, and of course we have to acknowledge the head of our rolling stock program, Tim Mulligan, who is the most excited about anyone in this building about the creation of this railcar acceptance facility, and of course our partners at the city, the Economic Development Corporation, who own the South Brooklyn Marine Terminal, that will be very important to the proper functioning of this facility as well. So thank you very much to all of those parties, and with that I'll call on our Assembly member for some remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. I am State Assembly Member Marcela Matenes, and I want to thank the Governor Hochul and the MTA and all the transit workers and everyone who helped bring this railcar acceptance and testing facility to life. As a representative of Sunset Park in South Brooklyn, I'm proud to welcome the first of its kind facility into our community. For decades, our neighborhood has been home to the industrial innovation, maritime commerce, and working class families who rely on public transit every single day. Today's opening continues that legacy, bringing investment, infrastructure, and possibility right here to our waterfront. This facility isn't just impressive in design, it represents a commitment to deliver safer, more reliable, and more accessible subway service for millions of riders, with the ability to receive new trains by truck, rail, or barge, and with a direct connection into the subway system. We are speeding up the process of getting modern rail cars into service where they are urgently needed. Sunset Park commuters and riders across the city will feel the impact of this work. I also want to recognize that this project was delivered on time and under budget. A standard we should strive to across all public infrastructure, and the fact that it has already earned recognition for engineering excellence speaks to the dedication of the team who built it. As the MTA prepares to introduce more than 1,500 new subway cars with wider doors, accessibility improvement, cleaner information displays, and CBTC-compatible technology, New Yorkers are counting on these upgrades to reduce delays, shorten wait times, and make our transit system more equitable. A modern city needs modern subway, and today's milestone moves us closer to that vision. Finally, I want to thank the MTA for its collaboration with our community throughout this process, and I also want to thank the following leaders for making this possible: Jano Lieberman, Demetrius Stricklaw, Jamie Torres-Springer, and my council member, Alexa Viles. Sunset Park residents deserve investments that bring good jobs, strengthen our infrastructure, and improve daily life. And this facility helps move us in that direction. And I have to say, as someone who grew up in Sunset Park since the age of 5, a lot of people don't know what's going on here. So every once in a while, you will suddenly see what seems weird, which is traffic stalled at 2 o'clock in the morning at a red light, only to see a transit train cross in the middle of the night. And it is amazing. I love telling the story and love telling people. I could not believe what I'm seeing now, and that's just someone who's very proud of the work that this city is doing and proud to be the representative here. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. It's afternoon, right? Hello, everyone. I'm Alexa Viles. I'm the council member representing this incredible district. And I just want to say thank you to all the workers and all the hands that made this possible. We watched this and, you know, in eager anticipation, community members were like, what's happening down there? You know, is it a skyscraper? And we are just so delighted that we continue to live into the legacy of this community, which is a working waterfront community that loves and honors its public transportation. And so as a subway lover, I'm adjusting to not having the orange bucket seats, but I really do want to say thank you. And this is what our city needs to live into the excellence that we have here, to make sure that our system is fully funded, it works to the maximum capacity and is accessible to all. We also have, on 36th Street, we will be welcoming an elevator, which will bring more accessibility. Long time project as well. But again, just sincere thanks and gratitude to everyone who made this happen. Thank you.
One last set of thank yous. Very important, the partnership that helps us to get this done. Our design builders, the Iovino Group with J-Track, TC Electric, MLJ, design of record AECOM, and great work by our CCM from Lero Hill. Thanks everyone.
All right, may have some questions if that's all right. That train car back there is so new, it's not even painted in New York City colors yet. You don't see that very often in New York City. All right, questions. We got some on topics. Evan Simcoe Bednarski, the Daily News, probably wants to know how it was accomplished on time and so much under budget, but I'll let him use his own words.
Appreciate that, Tim.
We do it a lot.
There's a battery hybrid work train down there, which is something that, you mentioned the 45 new diesels. On my way over here, I happened upon a work train rescuing another work train along the 4th Avenue line. There was a bit of an outage this morning. Can you tell folks, that's part of the system that people don't often see, the R211s behind you, are a much more visible face. But can you tell people how necessary, upgrading the work train fleet is and what that means for people on their everyday commute?
Yeah, that was one of a couple of work train delays overnight, so you got that one right.
So we talked about it before. We are delivering an amazing capital program, historical capital program. All of that work has to be done. The majority of it is done with work trains. Most folks don't see it. It happens in the night. It happens on off tours. But the reality is, it is an important portion of what we do. These trains are more efficient, have better. They're hybrids, so they have better air, lower emissions. Thank you, appreciate it. And this shop is one of a kind in that you're able to run a diesel in this location without an issue. As you can see, the air handlers at this location are able to vent out any type of fumes that you would have while the diesel is actually running in this facility. So, I could pass it to Joe, our specialist of equipment, but the reality is those diesels are going to be a huge part of the future of this transit system.
All right, Greg Macher right there from PIX 11 News. Greg, we got a microphone on your side there.
Chairman, Mr. President, talk a little bit about the time savings, how this can get the trains onto the tracks. Do you think it saves days? Because they still would have to be tested, road tested for a certain amount of time, but could this save time because they don't have to be shuttled around? What's it going to mean
so we'll
for
talk
service?
about just the process itself. The cars that used to come here, right, used to come into this facility, they would come to the tracks. Then you would have the single car units would be transferred to 207th Street Yard. We would link them up. That was all done outside. And then we would transfer those cars to a separate shop to start doing static testing, the testing that we do inside of a facility, but at different yards, different locations. Now, all of that happens here in this facility. So it does save huge time for our ability to be able to process. Again, we talked about the number of cars that we're going to be bringing into the system within a short period of time. We do it through a facility like this.
All right, let's move over to Steve Nesson right here from the On the Way newsletter. Steve.
Hello. Could you just remind us, you said it was $5 million under budget. What was the original budget? How long did it take to build this? And additionally, when you're done testing all the new R211s, what else is this facility going to be used for?
But original budget, $120 million. We brought it in $5 million under budget at $115 million through design build, through being very strategic about how we were using a lot of precast components, through great management of the track and working on the track, and we got it done in just under 3 years. The contract was awarded in 2023, and of course we just finished and turned it over. So very proud of how this got done. This is a state-of-the-art facility. The old MTA would have taken a very long time to get this done.
All the train cars have been tested when your R211s are all out on the field.
So you got the diesels that we just talked about. You have the 262s, which are coming up, and 268s as well.
Which has already been purchased.
All right, anybody else on
Which are already
topic?
purchased.
Sorry, Jenna, did you want
No,
to
there
talk
was
about
just
that?
the 268s, which were just, the purchase was just approved by the board.
All right, anybody else on topic? All right, we have a couple of off-topic questions before we do the ribbon cutting. This can go in various directions. Anybody who wants to just step a little over before, stay around for the ribbon cutting, you're welcome to do that. We'll do a quick off-topic. Who's got off-topic here? Samantha Liebman, New York 1. Sam.
Well, too bad. I was hoping that you could elaborate on the vandalism from October, exactly what happened and how it caused delays, and also the Bronx DA, the case of that guy who cut the copper wire at 149th and Grand Concourse. He was released, and the case was adjourned in contemplation of dismissal. So I wanted to get your reaction to that.
Well, I mean, I'm going to let Bill Amoruso talk about the specifics of the impacts on service, but you know, when you have situations where people are repeatedly doing damage to the system and doing harm to riders, causing delays again and again, and they're in and out of the criminal justice system, we do wish that the criminal justice system would find a way other than letting them, you know, basically walk to respond to that. We work. I mean, obviously this is not violent crime, but we work with the criminal justice system every day to try to make sure that the prosecutors have all the relevant information so they can make sure there are consequences when you do crimes that impact on riders, whether it's a violent crime or a vandalism crime, and we hope that process will yield results. But Bill Amoruso can talk to the specifics.
Right. So this was 3 incidents that happened over the course of a week in the middle of October. It involved copper cable being stolen from one of our rooms near the 149th Street Grand Concourse station, and that cable was responsible for powering the signal system. So we were unable to get 2 and 5 trains through 149th Street. All 3 cases were at the beginning of the evening rush hour, so it affected tens of thousands of riders. We're angry that this happened, and our crews did amazing work to get service restored as quickly as possible, but none of these incidents should have happened, and we hope that the criminal justice system will take it as seriously as this issue deserves.
Is there anything that could be done to prevent this on your end or the NYPD's end?
We've taken steps to better secure the facilities at this location. We've put up additional fencing and additional security measures to reduce the ability for people to get inside. I also want to give credit to the camera system that we have. By using the cameras in our stations and on our trains, we were able to identify the person involved very quickly, and our crews worked with NYPD to apprehend him.
All right, Greg Mocker. That's it. Great. Steve Nesson. One more.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Fresh in the inbox, it looks like a jury found transit liable for $81.7 million for folks getting hit by trains. Any comment to this jury decision?
I don't have the information to form a comment. So
Fresh in the inbox. It's fresh in the inbox. Anything else?
Thanks for the update.
All right, great. So here's what we're going to do next. We're going to cut the ribbon for the facility. So we're going to get some golden scissors out here and a ribbon. And then for the dozens of newsrooms watching on the live feed, we will be feeding you B-roll at the conclusion of this, a few minutes of B-roll showing this beautiful facility. So stand by for that. But first, we're going to cut the ribbon right here. All right, are we ready? We're not ready? All right, first we're smiling, and then we're cutting. Smiling and cutting. All right, here we go. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Woo! All right, thanks everybody. Now for the folks watching on the stream, we're going to send you that B-roll coming up right now.
Sir, we here for show.